hello there. That's how we're starting. Because this is one of these things is not like the other, and that happens to be this video, guys. So today
that was cringe.
we're gonna talk about our documentaries. Now, fun fact for you: we've actually already talked about our documentaries, but I went to edit this, and I don't know what happened, but something got messed up with the audio and the recording. So not only was all the audio off, which if it was just that, we could have fixed that. But for some reason, it was like mashing up the audio. So you'd have moments where like Cole and I were talking over each other. See, I'm even boring him with the explanation. We were like talking over each other. And then there's moments where it's just like dead silence and our mouths are moving. Darth Momo and Double O Studio here. And today we're going to talk about all 13 documentaries we have collectively made together. The other 9 are all mine.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
what's even funnier about it is it's like as low.
Blown away by that.
We lost you. There you are. Yeah. So did you watch these all in one go? How was that?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't too bad this time. I mean, honestly,
because like I know everything that was going on, whereas like the old ones I don't really remember that I made. I don't really remember them as much. It's kind of cool to see that like look into the past. Like one thing I kind of liked, and so it's kind of cool to see the consistency.
Yeah, I did notice. Yeah, I did notice that actually when I was watching it. I'm like, oh, that's cool that you still think that to this day. So it's why
and that's actually one thing that I think is really interesting about the gunman is it's like so I'm like, well, I can't even separate that. So we have to re-record this.
Yeah, and I was not happy about that.
No, I wasn't either. So I mean, we're not gonna try to like fool you guys and come up with fake reactions. But then at the same time too, we're not gonna like sit here and ponder on it for like each video for 10 minutes either. We're just gonna try to keep this short and sweet to the point. I mean, it's not like it's anything special, anyways. It's our documentaries. I mean, not to knock them. You know, I love our videos, of course, but it's not like we're talking about a year's worth of cinematic shorts. We're just talking about some kind of bonus documentaries, and I would almost call most of these just bonus featurettes, really, right?
Yeah.
I would say maybe like with the exception of like the last 2 I did, and then your Lethal Weapon one and Yak's Commander one, like I would consider all these really just like bonus videos. But they're documentaries.
Well, let's get going.
Yeah. So Cole's gonna start off all of mine, and then I'll start off all the rest because there's 9 of them that are mine, and the other 4 everyone else's. That kind of sums up Jaw movies in a nutshell for you, isn't it? Like you guys have all you. It's like yeah, there's one of Cole's, there's a couple Cole, there's a couple Yak, there's one from Jake, one from Hunter, and then there's just this gargantuan of Jaw movies.
Hey, just kind of like you're like Disney. You just like completely factory out this garbage over and over again, and it's bad, and it just keeps coming out again. You are what you eat.
It's funny you say it like that too, because when we were sitting there watching Ahsoka, I don't know why, but like all the other Star Wars shows, Emily was just always like, "Okay, yeah, go in the other room, go watch it." But she watched Ahsoka with me, probably because we forced our women to sit through half of Ahsoka when I went out to visit you. But when Captain Rex showed up, I was like, and she looks at me and goes, "I'm like, what are you doing?" She's like, "I'm just mocking you. You know, you're sitting here eating up the garbage."
Can you real quick before we get on this review? Can you
Tucker, stop barking, Tucker.
Can you act like a clapping seal real quick? I want to see it. Act like a clapping seal. Yes. Everyone watching at home, you have witnessed Josh basically saying he is a clapping seal, which he is. So
I'm not a clapping seal.
Yes, you are.
No.
All right, let's get on with this.
Okay. Speaking of actually quality content, the first documentary we're going to talk about is A Fool's Gambit: The Story Within, a 2016 Jaw Movies documentary.
This is actually a good job movies production.
Is it?
Yeah. I think the last time we talked about it, I gave it a 6 out of 10, and I still stand on that. I mean, a 6 out of 10 is pretty much good, like mid. It's below mid, but it's like it's not like awful. It's like
Well, I mean, you may say 6 out of 10 is good, but my parents had a different opinion back in grade school.
yeah, that makes sense. Um, I think this is a really fun documentary. I think the um the content behind it is fun and watchable. But if it had a better execution, I think this would probably be one of the best documentaries. You looking at the camera, or you not looking at the camera was cringe. The editing is just awful, and it just kind of drags on a little bit. So I mean, if all those were just fixed, like if you just like fixed up if you like chopped it up a little bit and like condensed it, and then like actually looked at the camera and edited it like a documentary, I think this would have been really good because the content behind it is really fun.
So what you're telling me is I should make a special edition of a documentary where one of the things I talk about inside that documentary is the special edition of the video I made.
My brain.
Well, I'm a special edition fanatic, as you could see in this documentary, since I dedicated a whole like minute and a half to talking about the
You
Fool's
know what?
Gambit special edition.
I don't think you're a special edition fanatic. I think you're a Star Wars fanatic.
Well, I'm also a George Lucas fanatic.
I think you're a clapping seal.
I'm a clapping seal for George, but that's okay.
That is okay,
So
actually.
yeah, I actually I agreed with a lot of things you said. One thing I mentioned too is like I love the title of it, like A Fool's Gambit: The Story Within. Like I don't know why, but I really like that name as a title. Um, I said also like it feels like a documentary too. Like I do agree with what you said though. Like it drags on a little bit, like especially the footage I played. Like I don't talk over. I just kind of like let it play out, and it wasn't condensed. It was very much like I just plugged in behind the scenes clips and let them play out. I'm like, yeah, that should have been chopped down a little bit. And the video quality was kind of low resolution. Um,
Yeah.
camera angles, yeah, not great. Like later on, like to me, like I know I hit on this when we talked about it before. Like if you're staring this way, like slightly off to the edge of the camera or at the camera, either or works for me, but pick one and stick with it. I just like changed it all over. So like one point I'm like this, one point I'm like this, one point I'm like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, it was just kind of cringe to watch. But I do like the ending though at the end when I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna keep expanding and it's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think, I think what did you give it? You didn't tell me what you gave
Oh
it.
yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
All right. Well, then slap that guy right in D tier.
Ooh, goody goody gumdrops. The,
Go. Oh, wait. Oh yeah. Go. Go.
the next one we're gonna talk about is the next one we're gonna talk about is trash. And by trash and by trash I
Trash.
mean it's called trash. That's it.
Well, it
It's
is
just
trash too. No, I'm kidding. It's not trash. Am I going on this? You're going on this, huh?
yeah. So
Okay.
it's a Coolio Kid Films 2016 documentary, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. Um, I thought it was shot well. I remember like initially when I told you that too, you were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Um, my notes were I literally had 3 notes: shot well, good meaning beyond the content, and good music. That was it. That's all I wrote.
Yeah, I don't know about a 7. Um, it's not trash, but it is funny to call it trash because it's called trash.
Did you give it a 4 out of 10?
No, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said I mean for documentaries go, it's pretty basic. I mean it does feel like a documentary and it's actually edited and shot like a documentary. So I mean, I gotta give credit where credit's due. It was kind of cringe though. I don't think it deserves 7 because it was kind of cringe. Um, and it was also really boring. Like, it was just so basic. Like, oh, like pick up your trash, the kids at school. Like, I don't know. Like, when I want to see a documentary, I don't think I want to see like, oh, pick up your trash. Like everyone knows that. Everyone and their dog knows that. So it's kind of mediocre. Um, but I will say the line where Jake is like fly ridden garbage. I rolled on the floor when he said that. That was so funny.
I don't know
Um,
why too, but I remember one thing that I thought funny, and I know I told you before, was like the end when they had like outtakes at the end, and they're like, "What's your name?" Jake Henninger. And you spell that, and he's just like, Henangr.
I know it was just awkward. What was
I don't
that?
know why I found that funny, but I did.
All right, so what? C or D?
Yeah, we can put it in C. I mean, you make some good points.
Oh, okay.
What? I
You're an egg. Whatever. Go to
I'm
the
at
next one.
D.
That's so
That's funny.
I believe you.
I believe you. So the next one we're going to talk about is a Jaw Movies documentary masterpiece from 2016, introducing Blast from the Past.
Oh, this was awful.
What?
3 out of 10. I know last time we talked about like it was necessary, but at the time before knowing that, it didn't feel very necessary. Um, like I don't even know if there should be a doc. Like it's really not a doc. It's just you talking about things, and like I know you're explaining things, but honestly, I don't even know if this should have been included because a documentary is something completely different than this. This is not a documentary, so I don't know. I don't even know why this is on here.
Well, to that I say, if Ebola could be included in bonus videos, that gets to be a documentary.
Ebola shouldn't have been in the bonus videos. Um, awful quality. Like I know you exported this at 720 or something, but yeah, this was awful.
Yeah. I gave it a 4 out of 10. Yeah, just to recap quickly for the audience, the reason the quality is so bad, which I did help hold against it, is because for some reason back then, like I used Movie Maker and I knew like exporting at 1080 took longer, obviously, because it was making it higher quality. And so I'm like, well, you know what? For like cool or like cinematic videos, I'll export it that. But for like Rebels reviews, I'm like, I'm just trying to get this out real quick and up on YouTube so it can maximize potential and views. So I would export a lot of videos at 720 or 360 because I didn't understand resolution at the time. And Windows explained it as 1080 was for television display, 720 was for computer display, 360 was for email. I'm like, well, this is going on a computer, whatever. And now looking back on it, I'm like, oh yeah, this looks horrible. And I exported a lot of like videos like the documentaries at 720 or 360, and it shows. It's bad. Um yeah, pretty much the whole point of this was just to explain. Like I uploaded all the stuffed animal videos I made in 2009 and the toy ones in 2011. I'm like, well, I'm uploading these in December of 2016. I don't want people to see that and be like, what the heck is all this about?
Yeah,
And think I'm like autistic or something. So I explain. I'm like, yeah, this is what it is. Um, and yeah. What else did I put in here? Oh, I put on here. I know I talked about this before, but this is really like I mentioned this in like literally every video. So it's kind of cool seeing the consistency because this goes all the way back to 2016. But I make comments on like every single one of these. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to like just scrap footage. I hate just like wasting footage. I would rather export it or like I would rather make some sort of video out of it, whether it was an unfinished video or bonus content, whatever. I hate just like scrapping and discarding footage, and you see that in like every single documentary. So I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool because I've literally said that in all these ranking videos.
yeah,
The only other cringe thing is, and like I know I probably shouldn't be pointing this out again because it's slamming me, but it's cringe. So what the heck? Part in there where I'm like, oh yeah, I made these videos with my stuffed animals because I love them. Well, not like that.
yeah. Throw that sucker in F tier.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you thought we were done with Jaw movies, we've still got at least 4 more. And
Great.
that's before we get a break.
A break.
Yeah, because there's going to be 3 more after that.
Oh.
The next one we're going to talk about is Galactic Conflict 2. What is it? 2017 Jaw movies documentary.
Okay. So I gave this one a 5 out of 10. I think I'd put 5. So it's still F, but it's not like low F. It's just kind of like barely makes a D. I said it's boring, bad picture quality. I know you just talked about that. Um, and honestly, like they were all kind of blurring together at this point. So it's like it. I didn't want to like repeat myself because every single thing that you did wrong in these original, like early docs, apply to everything. So, I guess the difference between this one and Fool's Gambit is like in Fool's Gambit, I don't know, like that video was just more interesting, and I feel like Galactic Conflict that didn't even become a project anyway, right? So it was just kind of really not that interesting. It was just like watching you talk or something.
Yeah, all Galactic Conflict 2 ended up being was just whatever scenes I shot. I put them together in a compilation and I uploaded it. So this is pretty much explaining what that was in our attempt to remake Galaxy War. Um, I thought going into these like next 3, I was gonna really like be bored by them, and actually this one I kind of liked. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was shot better for some reason. I don't know why. This one for some reason didn't have as low as quality as the other ones I thought, but I still stuttered a lot. There were some cool additions like the intro text at the bottom saying like, "Oh, Josh Palmer, creator of Galaxy War." I put on here insightful information, but yeah, overall, I gave it a 6.
You can put it in D if you want.
Woo, 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 woo. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Stop. That was cringe.
So the next one is also from Jaw movies. Galaxy War 4. What happened?
Galaxy War 4. Um, I gave this one even lower. 4 out of 10. Um, why aren't you looking at the camera? I said.
Oh
You
yeah, because
talk
that's
up.
the one where I'm like this.
Yeah, that was awful. I said you talk about 5 a lot, which was kind of cringe because this is 4, so it's like stop rambling on about 5. And it's way too long. Like I was just like, come on, like it's just one video. Like how long does this have to take? So yeah, a lot of the same issues as your other ones, but this one I liked even less because it was just so cringe. Like you're just like, how do you make a documentary like that?
Yeah. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Ah!
I said it was shot kind of weird at first, and some of the audio transitions between like the images and back to the main footage was a little quiet. Um, but I also put on here very insightful. And I also put on here, I loved how like what I said in here kind of ended up becoming true. Like I talk about like, yeah, I got 2 more Momo shorts. I'll start working on them eventually after my Lego Rebel Life. One is gonna be just a couple minutes, and then one is gonna be like a grand, like long video finale to the Momo series. But I mean it took 3 years, but I did end up doing it that same way. So I guess I'm congratulating myself on a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh.
I mean, we could put it in F.
I mean, as long if you actually think it deserves D, like I don't mind. But
Well, only so much as a documentary like this deserves D.
yeah, now you're starting to think.
Well, I do that all the time.
All
That's why there's always
right,
smoke coming out of my ears.
there's something coming out.
The next one we're going to talk about is Galaxy War 5, the early stages and what exists. It's on John Movies.
There's so many. where was this? Image quality is awful. The toy shot was cringe and bad. You play audio that's bad and it's a black screen. Also, the singing was the cringiest thing I've ever seen or I mean heard. That was awful. I
Yeah.
didn't even give it a ranking. I was just like, I I, I was so done. What did you give it? Because then I'll go off of that.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, when we were filming this before, you gave it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Because I remember that there was one video you gave low, and then I came out and I was like, oh, I actually gave it a lower score.
Oh, maybe it's this one. I honestly I just kind of like spitballed at a score last time, but this time I'm like, you know what? What did you give it? Because I'm gonna match that.
Well, I gave it a 3 out of 10.
All right, yeah, I'll match that. This
I said
sucker
the
belongs.
quality is bad. One comment I put on here too, it's kind of funny because I made this documentary in 2017 and I thought I was just done with Galaxy War. So I just kind of rambled off some ideas of what I was going to do in the fifth and final one. And then in 2023, I wrote the script for the fifth one, right? So I could do the narrated script for the beginning of 24. And I didn't even look at this documentary. I just looked at the script for four, and then obviously, what I know of one, two, and three, and I went from there. So I actually like overrode and rewrote a lot of the ideas I had. So I think that was kind of funny. I said this one was cringe and boring, and yeah, the song was kind of cringe.
Dude, that was so bad. Like you have that on the internet. You need to take that down.
What's even funnier about it too is right, and I think I told you this last time too. There was a point while I was editing the second Galaxy War that Yak and I were on a camping trip, and we were actually talking about Galaxy War. I showed him the first one, and we talked about rewriting it, and we came up with like a different slew of characters, in addition to the ones that were already there in the story. And this song actually makes reference to those characters. So this song was actually about a different timeline of Galaxy War, and actually doesn't even have anything to do with this like run of Galaxy War videos. So it
Man,
probably actually shouldn't have even been in here.
the man, the lore that
Oh, and the other
everyone.
thing too, I remember I pointed out to you too, was like there's a part in the documentary where I'm like, oh, just Josh, cut that real quick. And I fixed that on the DVD, but this is on YouTube and I uploaded it like that. I think I just plugged the footage in and I uploaded it. Even I was too
Yeah.
bored to rewatch, or even I thought this was too boring to go rewatch to edit.
So then, if you put it on YouTube, I don't know why you did that. You should definitely put this as an F tier.
Yeah. You're telling me, so you said the song was the cringiest thing you've ever seen. Was that more cringy than The Power of Lord Palmer? That was the one where we just fought for 16 minutes.
Those are both awful. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out another time.
Isn't that funny how, like, even though the Galaxy War is like one of the lowest quality products, like half of these documentaries are about Galaxy War?
No, actually,
Oh.
I'm just kidding. No, it's funny.
The next one we're going to talk about is a My Lego, or as it's a Shaw Movies documentary. A Look Ahead, My Lego Rebel Life.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. Last time I gave it a 6, but this time I'm gonna give it a 7 because honestly, thinking about it, it's like I'm gonna give you some credit where credit's due because the other documentaries are awful, and you did all right on this one. Um, the only nitpick I had was I thought it was so cringe when you were like, "Oh, I'm announcing season 4 is the end. Like it's official, guys." Like that was kind of cringe. Um, 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 this one was really well put together. I like how detailed. Or no, never mind. This one actually edited pretty well. You put footage and audio and labeled who they are. So yeah, you did a good job editing this. It actually feels like a documentary. I'm gonna bump it up a little bit higher for. I guess it's just in the realm of all your stuff, I'm bumping up higher just because of that.
So it's kind of like that time when I brought a box of things in the Bookmans, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not really going to take any of this, but we're going to give you $2 courtesy credit anyway."
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, thank you. I'll take it because I'm desperate. Well, that's funny because at first I wrote a 6.5, and then I think I crossed it out and wrote a 6. And then I wrote a 7. So I think last time I just went with 6.5 because that was what I originally had since you had a 6. But I guess this time I'll take it as a 7. I put in there my stuttering was still kind of bad. I stuttered a little bit, but otherwise I said it was shot fine, edited good. The discussion was cool. A couple audio issues once or twice, but I liked the end trailer when I'm like, all right, here's a sneak peek at season 4, and it plays the epic music, which I may or may not have borrowed from the Rebels season 4 trailer. To give you a look at my season 4 of what was my final show about Rebels.
Yeah.
Starting to see some similarities here, actually.
Yeah.
So,
well, is that it?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool. Like, it was fun. Fun fact for you, actually. I didn't tell you this last time. Fun fact for you on both the Star Wars Rebel pilot DVD and the season 1 pilot DVD, they both have documentaries titled Star Wars Rebels: A Look Ahead.
That's actually kind of cringe.
Oh.
You stole the title.
I think if you look at this series, like, it was basically just my, like, version of Rebels.
Well, yeah, my Lego Rebel life.
I mean, they both have 4 seasons. They both focus on Rebels. Yeah.
Hey, take the credit where credit's due. Don't let me
Yeah,
take
we'll
it
just
down.
stop right there.
Yeah, you're making me want to put that lower.
Speaking of something that should be lower, we're going to talk about the Extraordinary 4.
Oh, that sucks.
It's a Double O Studio documentary from a 2016 project that was released in 2019. It's not available anywhere. And I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Dang.
I said it was a cool look at a project, but whether or not it was a documentary was confusing at first. The explanation happened like 2 minutes in, and I was really confused because I'm like, well, is this like, because I know you mentioned to me it was a visual documentary, so I was sitting here, I'm confused. I'm like, this feels like the edited project, but I'm like, I can't hear what's going on, but then like, what's going on? So spent most of it confused, and that was the only reason I gave it a failing grade. But I'm willing to go to a 6.
Up to a 6 is crazy. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
That's what's crazy.
I think I should have titled it "The Extraordinary Four Documentary" because all I did was
Yeah.
title it "Extraordinary Four." But I don't know, man. I really like the structure of this. Like, I know you don't understand like when it just plays all that and then cuts to the visual text. Um, but I actually thought that was really cool because you going into a click in the video, you should already know that it's a documentary. And like I said, that's my fault. Maybe I should have titled that differently. But
So you just said
I
it's your
always,
fault because you didn't title it correctly, but then you blame the viewer.
well, I mean, you are putting this on a documentary like tier list, so you know it's a documentary.
Because you told me it was a documentary.
All right. Well, if I go back and change it, then it's a 7.
Well, no. If we revisited it, then maybe, but I was taking it as it was.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. That's kind of not fair.
I mean, we could put it in D tier.
Oh. Hold on. I didn't finish what I was saying.
Sorry.
I think it's really fun to watch, and I don't know where the footage is. I hope I can find that footage. Because, well, actually, I don't even know what I can really do with it because the audio is so bad. But
ADR
I don't know.
it.
Huh?
ADR.
Yeah, I can ADR it. But I do like how like I put 1, 2, 3, 4 to show all the extraordinary
Yeah.
4 people. I don't know. I really like this documentary. I think it deserves a 7, but I'm not taking anything less than a D.
We put it in D. I hope you had the footage. Why would you have deleted it?
I don't know. That was such a long time ago. I don't know where that footage ended up.
I mean, I hope you're able to find it then, because like I don't know me like I personally think, and I hope I don't insult you, but I personally think it's reckless to just delete footage.
Well, I don't know where. I mean, that was almost a decade ago.
Oh,
Like I
I
was.
have footage from a decade ago. Like I literally like my YouTube reviews. I delete that footage. I just save the video. Like I don't need that. But every video I've ever made, I have all that footage still. I personally think that like as filmmakers, like I get accidents happen, and I know like you didn't necessarily have your own computer at the time. Like you were bouncing back and forth between your mom's laptop and the school laptop, and I know the school wipe stuff. So like I get accidents happen, but I hope you didn't deliberately delete it because I don't know. Me personally, like
No.
I think well I'm glad you understand that thing because like I don't know, me personally, I think as a filmmaker, it's downright reckless to just delete footage.
I think it's probably somewhere on a flash drive, but I have so many flash drives all over the place. So
I have everything. Like for some reason I ended up with part of your Mission Impossible 3 footage, and I still have all that. I have all the Batman footage you gave me, which thank God because then I was able to go in and do the special editions, which was cool because the special
oh,
editions are a lot better. I mean, hey, the special editions are the versions of Batman. Get over it.
that was cringe. Put this. Or you put it there. What's the next one?
The next one we're going to talk about is also a double studio documentary that's also not available anywhere.
Heck yeah.
The Lethal Weapon film a 10. Um,
Heck yeah.
I gave it a 7 out of 10. I said I really liked watching this. The only big criticism I have was like, and I know we kind of talked about this last time, was too much kind of archival footage from the film was in there. I
Yeah.
get what you were going for, but that would be the main criticism I have. I always kind of hate when we do that, which is kind of ironic that I hate that because don't I
You do
like
that all
take
the time.
yeah, yeah. Um, but I really liked watching this. It was a really cool look at the foot at a project that could have been. I wish this got finished because like there's some parts of this I was watching it like Jake is the villain. Like I thought it was kind of cool. Like I love when Zach was sitting there and you're like, or Zach was like, do that again. You guys had bad acting.
Yeah. No,
um,
I
it
have.
was just
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, almost done. It was a really well presented documentary. I remember when I first saw this when you uploaded it, I was like, this is really cool to watch. So I was excited to rewatch it. And I like also too, I know I made this point last time, but I think it's a good point. It says a lot about you, so I want to make it again. I like
Yeah.
how not only did you like discard this, but like you use it as like a soul searching moment. Like you literally connect it. Like this is everything about your channel and your history and like all in one. Like you talk about how you used to do a lot of fan films and you talked about how this one fell apart and you use it to do some soul searching to transition into what your channel is now. You're like, I need to get away from that and start making more original content, put some more effort into it versus just a Saturday filming session with some buddies. And I really like how this like encompasses his like really the essence of what Double O Studios was, is, and is going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, thank you, and that means a lot. Your little input at the end there about the soul searching, because that's exactly what I was going for. um, I remember this was right around the time I think we finished Mission 5, um, and I just remember like I remember really disliking 5 when it came out. Watching it now, I'm like, wow, this is like the best Mission Impossible and one of the best action movies we've done.
Well,
but
that's not a high bar to cross.
oh, Um, but I remember thinking back in the day, like I was so pissed at myself for another Mission Impossible. I'm getting too old. Like, what am I doing? And then all of a sudden, like just by fate, like the universe or whatever, Lethal Weapon just gets absolutely like shit on. Like everything that went wrong could have gone wrong. Like I remember, our acting was just atrocious. Jake's acting was okay. But I just remember the camera batteries died. I think people were late. Um, you know, I don't remember. There was just so many issues. I can't remember everything, but Yeah, it was bad. Like that was the worst production ever. Um, but I said love the little trailer in the beginning. I know you were kind of mad about the stock footage. I just didn't have enough footage, and I just thought it would be looking at it now. It's a little I probably shouldn't have done that, but I don't mind it. It's just kind of in there to fill the trailer.
Yeah.
Um, um, Editing was good, fun to watch, not the greatest though. And I love the SpongeBob music. I think the SpongeBob music fits really well and it's funny.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that when we recorded this last time. I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's throw that sucker where that belongs. The next one we're going to talk about is the only nuclear films video on here. Um, the construction of the commander. Spoilers. I mean, he put
Uh,
that in the title. We got to say what the title is.
yeah.
Um, it's a 2020 documentary. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And I know we're going to debate that because I know we debated that last time. Um, I said I really like to watch. Oh wait, that's the Lethal Weapon notes. I said I thought it was edited pretty good. Felt like a documentary. The information provided was pretty insightful. Um, the like I said, I still stand by my review of the Commander. I don't like the story. I don't like the story as a Star Wars story, especially. Yeah, I know you disagree with me on that, but I still stand by that. But that being said, I still stand by also the fact that I see a lot of great production and effort went into that, and I respect that. I really respect that. And this documentary just really highlights that. Um, and like this felt like something that like you would feel like you would see on like Cartoon Network, back when Clone Wars was coming out. This felt like one of those little mini bonus things. The only thing that I really don't like and was like I literally like cringed when it happened was at the end when he like cuz whole time he stares at the camera like this. And then at the very end he looks straight into the camera and goes, "Well, nuclear films out." First off, I think he stole that from me because I've been saying Darth Momo out since like 2015. Second off, it was just cringe to just break the fourth wall and like stare straight at the camera and go, "Well, that's all today, folks. Nuclear films out."
Oh, no. Yeah. Um, I also gave it a 7 out of 10. Um, I actually think this is one of the best documentaries. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, do
Um,
you see what its competition is?
oh, um, this one is really put together, and I like the point that you said. Like, he really shows the effort and the work he put into the series, and I really respect that. Like after watching this documentary, I'm like, wow, like there's things in there that I had no idea, like the little Easter eggs and all that stuff, and I think that's really cool. I like how he shows all the sets that he didn't use, the green
Yeah.
screen, like it was really good. I think it's a great little documentary. It's nothing special, obviously. It's not an 8 or a 9, but it's deserving of the C. I know last time I knocked it down, but honestly, I only knocked it down because of the episode 9 thing, which that is just cringe. I don't know why he put that in there. Oh, because like I hate that movie, and that movie literally is awful and ruins the whole point of Star Wars. So the fact that he like referenced that movie and said the commander might be in space is not only cringe, but it's just like that movie is cringe. So that's like a double whammy. Um, but I don't. Looking at it now, I don't think it's fair to do that to him. We can keep it in C.
Okay. Yeah, I remember last time we were both like on the fence and we were fighting back and forth and you're like, "Well, I want to knock it down just for that." And I'm like, "Yeah, the ending was kind of cringe too. I'm willing to knock it down, but yeah, we could keep it in C. I'm okay with that."
I think it
But
deserves to be in C.
so the next one we're going to talk about is the next three. We're on a home run with John Movies documentaries here. The next one we're going to talk about is Galaxy War Backstory, a discussion with the creator.
Oh, okay.
It's a 2024 documentary on John Movies.
Docu- I don't think this is a documentary.
Oh,
I gave this a 5 out of 10, um, because you're literally just sitting there talking about Jaw movie or whatever, Galaxy War, and it's like that's not a documentary. Just this is just like blast from the past, but now like this year, like it's not really a documentary. It's just you sitting there, and I put you're wearing my jacket.
Well,
Um,
oh, sorry.
I did put. I'm not sure why this needed to exist, but I remember last time you explained why it needed to exist. I don't know, man. Like this is like just like boring stuff. Like if you're gonna make a video talking about things, like make it interesting. Like don't just like have the camera on yourself for 20 minutes. I don't know. That's not
Well,
really a documentary anymore.
I think it was only on me for 7 minutes. Also, yeah, I mean, basically, I know you said you were kind of bored by this, and I know the reason why is because that timeline video came out afterwards, but you watched it before, so to you, this is all repetitive information. But at the time, it was brand new. Like to me, this was just kind of filling in the gaps because I never really told this story, and I probably will never tell this story. So I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna do like a brief little video, like what this story was. Like I don't know, I thought it was presented pretty well. Like I didn't stutter at all. Like I don't stutter anymore for some reason, and which is funny because I'll have egg moments all the time where I stutter and I'll act like the president, where I'll be like, yeah.
That's true.
Ah." But I don't know. Like I thought I was gonna be bored by this one, and I actually kind of had fun watching it. I
What'd
gave
you
it a
give it?
7 out of 10.
What?
But we could put it in D tier.
If you're gonna put Extraordinary 4 in D tier, this belongs in F tier.
No, you give Extraordinary 4 a 7 too.
All right.
They're literally the same.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Well, I know about this one.
Well,
Also
wait.
on. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna. You know how you said they're the same? Maybe in the same tier list, but E4 is probably a 6.8, and yours is a 6.1. Okay, continue.
What'll it be, fellas? Mustard or ketchup?
All right.
The next one we're going to talk about is also from 2024, Galaxy War: A Retrospective.
Okay, now this was epic. I gave this a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I said it's a really fun idea, like the fact that you're just like going through all your old videos and like retrospectively looking at them, and you have like you're looking in a good direction the entire time. You're consistent with it, and you have like the videos in the foreground. I think that was really cool, and I've actually never thought of that. So watching this, I was like, oh, like no one's ever done that before. That's actually kind of cool. Like I like that. So it was just simple. Like it wasn't again nothing amazing, but I don't think it deserves below a C. Like I think it's actually pretty fun. So I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I gave this one an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
To me, I said this one feels like a legit documentary. Like if I went like I mean I know the Galaxy Wars are on documentary, but if some major studio produced them on DVD and I picked it up from the store and this was on the bonus features, like to me that feels like legit. Like this feels like something you'd find on a DVD. I said it was shot pretty well, good information, no stuttering, which I don't know how because sat there for a half hour speaking. I don't know how I didn't stutter. And yeah, I agree with you. I like the small little clips on the side. I thought it was a good send off to the Galaxy War. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of significance to the channel and the John movies there, and I thought it'd be fun to just kind of sit there and recount it. Um,
yeah.
so you gonna give me a bone and throw it in B?
Well, I already gave you a bone with Lego.
Well, you did, but last time you gave me a bone and let me throw this in B.
So should I give you a bone and let you take or keep one bone and take the other bone away?
I mean, that's your prerogative, but I'd rather put this one in B than that one in C.
All right, put it in a B.
I mean, I would consider the fact that I put your Extraordinary 4 in D a bone.
Wow. I just don't agree with that. I love that little documentary. I don't understand why you hate it so much.
I mean, I
Not
was
kind of.
confused.
Well, you're also genuinely a confused person. You're Joe Biden.
Oh.
All
So the
right.
last one we're going to talk about is The Adventures of Darth Momo, a retrospective.
This one I also gave a 7 out of 10.
That it? That all you want to say?
No. Literally the same exact thing as the first one. Like, I mean, it's. I know there's a way more content with Darth Momo, so you probably had to. I mean, it's a longer video and everything, so you might not be like consistent with your speaking, but I still think credit should be given where credit's due. Like you still did a retrospective. That's really cool. You still had the little video in the top. Um, I think it's fun. I mean, if you're gonna sit through all 18 installments, I mean, go ahead. I don't know how long the video is. It's like 30 minutes, right?
Well, the Galaxy War one was 30 minutes. This one's 13.
How?
There wasn't as much to talk about.
You have 18 installments.
Yeah, but a lot of them were like a minute or two each.
That's true. All right. Well, anyway, 7 out of 10.
Well, that's funny because I gave it a 6.5.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we could throw it and see. I'm okay with that, but I remember talking, like I just said, like this one to me wasn't this one wasn't as edited. This I don't think I edited this one as well as the Galaxy War one, and I was kind of bored by
Well, that sums that up.
it.
No, but yeah. I mean, you can put it in C or D. Doesn't I don't care. It's not terrible, but it's also not amazing. Um, or it's also yeah. Anyway, so I know we just finished, but I think we forgot to mention last time, and this time I'll remind you and everyone. We got to plug in my through the years gunman trailer.
So yeah, Gunman 5 is coming back. Hope you guys enjoy that. That's going to be launching on Double O Studio, and Nuclear Films will have their own cut on Friday. But of course, since this is a Double O Studio Darth Momo ranking, I would absolutely say check out Double O Studios first. But feel free to check out Nuclear Films afterwards, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we can't talk about his channel for like 10 videos and then not advertise his as well. I mean, especially since this is like his production too.
No, but just the way you said it, you're just like, oh, I guess.
Well, because I'm telling them to watch the same video twice.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. I don't mean that to like knock against him. I just mean like, yeah, go watch it twice, I guess.
Yeah.
So for fun, should we look at and see how similar this is to the last one?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh. Man, doing the same ranking video twice can really change things up.
So it looks like Galaxy War 4 got knocked down a point. And then the Commander got knocked up a point. and My Like a Rebel Life got knocked up a point.
There you go, folks.
So
There
I
you have
kind of
it.
got screwed, but I got like, better off at the same time.
You got better off. Yeah. So this is what happens, folks. This is a live reaction of what happens when you
Yeah.
have to do a documentary twice. The same one.
Well, that's no one's fault.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. So this is our definitive ranking, guys. This is like the special edition.
Ah!
Well,
live a day without Star Wars. Try it. I want you to try it.
I don't think that's possible. Literally, this is where I work, and the Mandalorian's back there on a puzzle.
Yeah.
I literally I sit here and I look right there, and I have a poster of the Phantom Menace.
You just live and breathe it every day. You can't escape it.
I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, but what are you gonna go do in the theaters on May 3rd?
I'm not going to see that.
You're not gonna go see it?
Well, I'm going to see Phantom Menace, but not.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh well, yeah, I'm going to do that because that's a good movie, and it's canon, and Kira's going to pay for it.
All right, let's end this while we're on a decent note. Next time, guys, we're gonna talk about.
What?
We're gonna talk about all the trailers we've made over the years. My head kind of hurts now. And then we're gonna rank all our franchises internally, and then the franchises against themselves. All right. Well, clib noff, clib noff, clib noff. I confused even myself trying to say that.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Hasta luego.